Alright, so I've already done my 3 rough sketches, and I think I'm going to build this one here. Alright, now I have a piece of graph paper over here, and this is what I'm going to do my final drawing on, so I want to be super neat about this. First thing, first and foremost, of course, is to put your name at the top. So I'm going to write Mr. Patarini, and maybe even a P2, or what did I say? Yeah, I said it was in period 2. All right, so your name should definitely be on this document. All right, and we're going to be building something that's about this big. I'll move my paper up so you can kind of maybe see that a little bit better. So somewhere up here in kind of this left top corner, where 2 lines go ahead and intersect, okay, I'm going to make a dot, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 squares and make another dot. Now, if each one of these squares is 1/4 of an inch, guess what? 16/4 is how much? It would be 4 inches, or half of the length of this tower. All right? So I'm going to connect those 2 dots. In fact, here, if I turn my ruler around, I'll prove it to you that it's 4 inches. There you can see between dot number 1 and dot number 4, or dot number 2 at the 4-inch mark. And if I kind of connect that, all right. But let me zoom out a little bit. What I need, honestly, is an 8-inch long line. So from here, I could measure another 4 inches, but I like counting the squares because that's going to become something we're going to do a lot here. If each one of these squares is 1/4 inch, once we draw this design, it allows us to do some things very easily without needing a ruler. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Make another dot. Can you see that down at the bottom there? I think you can. And connect all the way from the top to the bottom. Notice I'm holding my ruler with my fingers nice and far apart so my ruler doesn't wobble as I'm drawing that line. And that's a pretty decent straight line. All right. Now I'm going to move over 1 square from my original dot and make a dot there. And down at the bottom, I'm going to move over 1 square and make a dot. Again, remember it's where 2 blue lines intersect, or whatever color the lines are on your graph paper. And now I will connect those dots, knowing that I've already done all my measuring, right? By the way, fun fact, look at this. I'll put my ruler here. Do you see the 8? 8 inches. So these are 2 side-by-side 8-inch lines, and I'll connect them. And what I've basically just drawn, seems like a lot of work, I guess, but what I've basically just drawn is this guy right here. Okay? You can see they're almost exactly the same size. Or, in real life, this guy right here, one of these balsa beams. I put it on top of that rectangle that I drew, and it kind of disappears. Now I'm going to just kind of shade this guy in. Don't shade in too dark, because you'll just smear and smudge it. I shaded this in, not too dark, so I understand that that represents a solid beam, not 2 smaller pieces like this side by side. Okay? Now here's the tricky part, is we got to get the other beam in the right spot. So this second dot we drew over here, the one that's towards the inside of the paper, more towards the middle of the paper, this dot here, not this dot here, from here, that's my 0, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and make a dot, and draw a little line 1 square over. I can do the same thing down here at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, make a dot, make another dot, and go 1 square over on the bottom. And guess what? 8 of those 1/4 inch squares, or 1/4 inch squares, 8/4 is 2 inches. If I use my ruler there to double check my work, that's 2 inches between here and here. and between here and here. And now when I connect these dots, using my fingers spread far apart, I sometimes make a little L shape with my fingers to hold the ruler. There is my other beam. Hello, check this out. Disappears. My drawing disappears underneath these two beams. Shade it. And now I've got basically one of these, which was like one of these before I started scribbling all over them, right? But I've drawn it myself, and I've drawn it neatly, and now this is where the tricky part gets, because I'm going to transfer this idea to here. One thing I know for sure, and I can kind of move this drawing over a little bit, if I'm making this design here, I know I have a member at the top, and I have a member at the bottom, so I can draw those. And I realize that in real life these members are a little wider than a pencil line, but we're just going to use one pencil line to represent this piece of balsa here, or this piece of balsa here. Alright? Now I also notice that over here I have one in the center. And I know where my center is because remember this dot here I drew after I counted the 16? That's right in the center, right at 4 inches of my 8-inch tower. I'm going to draw that guy, and you can see I'm using the ruler, and I'm drawing pretty carefully. I'm not the neatest guy in the world. If you ever saw my handwriting, you'd know that was true. But if I take my time and I use my ruler, I can make a pretty accurate drawing. Okay? Now, again, looking back here at this, here's what I'm going to do. All right? In fact, I might start from the bottom. I've got this guy here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares, make a dot. And I'm going to draw a line. Now remember I said on the rough sketch it doesn't really matter. Now it matters. Alright, so if that's 6 for this line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, move it down a little bit so it's more even, then I guess when this line goes this way, it has to be 6 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Is that 6? It sure is. 2, 4, 6. And people, what I'm trying to do here is just make this as symmetrical and neat and even as possible. So you can tell that these two lines are almost perfect. These ones over here, maybe not as perfect. Okay? So let's count down another 6 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe to here. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now your counting, your numbers might be different, but I think you can see that whatever your design is, whatever I do on this side, I want to do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, your count might be 4s, or it might be 3s, whatever it is. Be consistent. So whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. All right? Now my last one here goes into the corner, all right, and my last one here goes into this corner, so that's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, slightly different measurement, but nonetheless should be pretty darn symmetrical. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm trying not to use my eraser. I think you guys all know that when you erase a pencil line, a lot of times it just smudges and smears, right? So one of the tricks that I tell people to do is don't draw your darkest pencil line. That way if you have to erase it, hopefully it won't smear and smudge too much, and then you can always darken it in later. But these lines look pretty good. This one here is a little light. Maybe I'll go back over that guy. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 pieces here. I've got my 2 beams, and that is over here just a much nicer representation of this idea that I can use to build my truss.